Scorpio, welcome into your reading. I'm going to do a general reading. We'll take a look at your past, your present, your future, and then we'll pull some cards for the cauldron to kind of give us an idea on what challenges we might have or things facing us that we need to work on. Today we are going to be using the Death game board, showing the Death card here. Scorpio is, as far as archetype, kind of goes along with the Death card. So we'll get into the reading here and see what in the past was taking place. Scorpio's dates are, let's see, what, October the 23rd through November the 21st. Okay, so in the past we had a new beginning, the Fool in the upright position. Could be talking about a young person here in this energy. But I don't know right off the bat, but we'll find out. So let's see. In the past, we had the Fool, the Nine of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands, and a Tower. Awesome. Okay. I know you say, awesome. What was so awesome about it? It happened to me, right? But I love the Tower card because it always shows where we needed foundational work, things to work upon. So it looks like in the recent past, you had either an awakening. The Fool card is the beginning card. We can talk about a spiritual awakening, a journey. It is the journey card. A journey towards what? And we see the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse position. Now, the Nine of Pentacles, she is grounded. She has awards. She has things under her belt that she's accomplished. So this is an accomplished type card. Financially, emotionally, health, and that type of situation. But we see her in the reverse position. So we're going to take a look at that real quick. So the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse position talks about her self-worth. This hustling kind of attitude, financial strain, and perhaps maybe you were in one of those positions where you just had to hustle a lot. That could be side jobs, side work, that type of thing. But it's also a materialistic type of view, and an imbalance. So I'm not sure if you can hear that wind, but we've got a storm brewing up, and maybe this is indicative of this reading I'm about to have, because I say that. We got the Knight of Wands in the reverse position, and usually the Knight of Wands in the reverse talks about a kind of a chaos, an unsettling energy. So there was a new beginning with something or another that was kind of unsettling. There's this chaotic storm brewing, so to speak. We'll take a look at that Knight of Wands in the reverse position, and I'll show you what I mean by that. Yeah. Impulsiveness, this recklessness, chaos, impatience, lack of direction. Boy, that wind is really kicking out there. I'm not sure if you can hear that or not. That is wild. Yeah. I mean, that's the energy I also am feeling in this reading, right? At the same time we're doing this. So I don't believe in coincidences. So this is kind of the energy. But a tower took place, a breaking down of foundational structures, a way of thinking. This Tower card represents an illusion, that there's safety in everything. And usually it's holding on to maybe traditional beliefs or patterns that we've had that just no longer serve us. And it's coming to a realization about those things. And this Tower card, there's no escaping. It's just, it looks like a reckless type of scenario that took place. So I'm not sure whether this is relationship wise or finances wise, but emotional is what I'm getting. There's a lot of emotion tied up in this Tower. So we'll kind of keep going. But in the present, we have the Three of Pentacles in the reversed position. Now, the Three of Pentacles in the upright position talks about sharing ideas and, exchanging of ideas with other people. Um, so it's followed by the Four of Pentacles, the Two of Swords, and then the Five of Wands. Okay. And what I'm seeing is that in the Three of Pentacles in the reverse position, there's kind of like this non-reciprocated energy. There's kind of a standstill, so to speak. Let's look at that real quick. So the Three of Pentacles in the reverse position talks about a disharmony, poor collaboration, ego clashes perhaps, an inefficiency, frustration, and an imbalance. And obviously we see that in the very first of the turn there, this major chaotic state right here, followed with the Tower. But it seems to be still in your present. But I feel like there is this healing and this choice that you're coming to, because the Four of Pentacles talks about that very nature of holding on to something. And it appears that you're maybe still holding on to this, like I said, whether this is relationship or not. But you're at a point where you're manifesting this decision that needs to be made. The Two of Swords talks about that, this need to make a decision, that it's coming upon you, or that that has been upon you. And I feel like this is really emotional. We see the crescent moon in the background there, and right now we actually are in this waxing type of crescent about to come upon us after this new moon, and usually that is a time of revealing the secrets, the masks that we wear, the things that we're exposed to in this Tower card, or the Tower itself. That energy kind of causes us to come into those types of ways of thinking. And it's followed by the Five of Wands, and the Five of Wands is, you could see them, they're all waving the wands over their head. It's not like they're beating each other up. It's just that there's just a commotion. And it seems to be that there's no real leader in this. It's like there's not a single one of them is taking charge. And so this causes a friction. It causes a commotion. So I feel like this is really this imbalance emotionally speaking. And we'll take a look again, like I said, at the Four of Pentacles in the reverse position here. So there's a greed, materialism, overspending, fear of loss, possessiveness, a financial strain, a letting go, and an insecurity. So maybe, like I said earlier, that, with the Fool card, this is kind of a young energy. Maybe I'm speaking to a younger person, maybe that was in a relationship where, maybe you're the one that's got the job, or, and you come home, your house is dirty, this person that you're with is not helping out, and you're it's just fights after this, and there's no reciprocation. Nobody else is pitching in, helping out. This could be, maybe you've roomed with some people, or maybe this is in a relationship, but it's got you. I'm about to make a decision here. Because all this has got to be, this turmoil is emotional turmoil here. And that's what I'm getting, is that this relates to an emotional turmoil that's taking place within you. Anyway, let's look in the future here. We've got the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands in the reverse position is talking about this, and the Emperor also. This, right out the gate there, I kind of got this impression that there is a controlling, perhaps a narcissistic, this could be a partner, this could be a father figure. The Emperor represents kind of this father stabilized type energy, except he's in a reversed, and in a reverse position is a stubbornness, is a greed. It also sometimes can talk about, perhaps addictions and things like that. But I feel like there is this young energy that is in this relationship that has this Emperor reversed kind of energy. I say that because the Page is kind of a young, younger, less mature, obviously in emotion as well, but in age, it could be that's the case. But we'll look at the Emperor in the reversed position too, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. So yeah, tyranny, rigidity, domineering, there's a controlling aspect of this thing, if this is a relationship wise. A rebellion and perhaps instability. I kind of feel like that's what this is probably talking about, is insecurity. Because we also have the Three of Wands in the reverse position, and the Three of Wands in the upright is it's kind of like you see the three staffs there, the budding staffs, and they symbolize that you've found some direction, and you've got your hand on one of the staffs, planted in the ground, saying, "Hey, I'm moving out. I'm moving this direction. I'm going to something." But this maybe has you stuck. Um, and the reason I say that, it kind of feels like a little bit of a codependency. While this situation, uh, with this possible narcissistic attitude in this relationship, and also this Knight of Wands reversed, talks about this chaos, turmoil, rigidity. It could be ego clashes. It could be you guys are just not getting along. It's no longer working, and it's forcing you into these Two of Swords positions that you see here, where you have to make a choice and a decision. This still feels the same way with the Three of Wands in the reverse position. We'll take a look at that as well. So a delay, hesitation, missed opportunity, yeah, limitations and obstacles. And I'm really getting the idea that maybe this might be a little bit on the codependency, that you're kind of rely upon this person in a way. But it begs for balance, and that's kind of what we're seeing, that um, this is coming your way. This is what, because we've had this scenario in the past. It's still following with us in the future, and the good news is that you've realized that this is causing an internal turmoil, and that you have to make a decision. And the decision is, do I want to continue with this domineering, ego, narcissistic view? If that's the case, it could be also indulgence. And that keeps me from moving forward in aligning with balance. Temperance is the balance card. So it's also the spiritual awakening. It's coming to a knowing that this emotional turmoil has to get balanced. It has to reveal itself. And this tower is a magnificent push off the cliff, so to speak, in the full position here, where you just walked up to the edge and said, I'm going to maybe anticipate making a move. The tower goes ahead and shoves you right on off the cliff, and I don't mean to sound that so terrible, but that's really what happens. And excuse me, and that's a good thing. It really is, because I feel like you're at that, you're at the tipping point. Excuse me, I have to get a drink here. Okay, then we are in the cauldron over here. These 4 cards over here are going to be our cauldron cards. They're calling out to us to what we need to work on. The Page of Cups is an offering. The page is a youthful spirit, who is excited, and who is, ready to move into life, and ready to explore, and put their feet down into deeper waters, to explore also emotional and physical and relationships and financial wise. I say that because it's backed up by the Knight of Pentacles, but both of these cards are in the reverse, okay? And that's why this cauldron is over here. It's for us to pay attention to on these, and it lines up perfectly with what's taking place in this situation. So the Page of Cups in the reverse position is this stagnant energy. It's there is no offering coming in. It seems like, no matter what you do, no matter what you try, um, it just seems like the currents are against you in some way. So let's take a look at the Page of Cups in reverse. Could be some immaturity. It could be the other person. This could be you. I don't mean to knock you down off the ledge there, but you know but these types of energies are causing a type of escapism. It's causing rejection, vulnerability, emotional blocks. And we all know that when we're down, we're down, and sometimes it's hard to look up. The Knight of Pentacles is the logical card, okay? He is the logic of, when he makes a plan, he sticks to it and he goes forward. But it seems like you're in the reverse position and unable to, so you're feeling really stuck, right? Okay. The Eight of Wands over here also talks about communication coming in, some action coming in really quickly, but it's in the reverse position, so we kind of know that things are just moving really slow for you. And also it's followed by the Six of Cups, this nostalgia card that should be in the upright, this beautiful relationship. Maybe you're envisioning things that when I was younger, or you could be older looking back going, when I was younger, I could have done this. Or you are younger and you're going, I'm looking out. You're over here at the Three of Wands. You wanted it to be in the upright position, just saying, I continue to look out and I continue. This cycle just keeps repeating. I'm almost surprised we haven't seen the World card, that shows these cycles. But I'm telling you, these are just cycles of your life that you're going through. And this is not a terrible read. This is not uncommon, especially for relationship wise. You know, things get stagnant. Sometimes you are 75% and the other person's only 25%. But I kind of feel like in this is 99%. Okay. You've done the work. And you have gone through this tower. You have realized that you were clinging on to at one time all of this chaos and turmoil, okay, and you needed to make a decision, okay, and it was an emotional, very emotional decision for you that you had to do. And like I said, this could be related to a father figure, a mother figure. I kind of feel more like this is more of a kind of a masculine energy, because we have the Page of Wands in this first position talking about the action, or the masculine position. So, and it followed by the Emperor in reverse. So I really feel like maybe you're in a relationship where you're just not being seen. The Three of Pentacles talks about that. You're not being heard, and you should be. And you are absolutely manifesting this balance, and this balance is coming in, okay? It's going to do it for you whether you like it or not. And the tower is obvious. You didn't want the tower, but it happened. Now the balance that you're seeking is coming in. Okay, we follow up with the Seven of Pentacles over here, and the Ace of Wands in reverse. The Seven of Pentacles says, okay, I've got some relationships under my belt. I've got some emotional dealing that I've done. I've had things in my life that went pretty good so far. I planted some seeds. I've had some desires that kind of got, that took place. But I'm looking back and I see this one down here right below him reminds me of this Six of Cups scenario. I planted this seed, but I'm just kind of impatient. I want it to hurry up and come to fruition. And this kind of gives me the energy that, where is my love life? Where is my emotional support system? The Ace of Wands. Where is my sexual partner? Where is my lover? Where is my friend, my confidant? You kind of feel alone, left alone in that, okay? And I say that because it's followed by the Seven of Cups, and Seven of Cups talks about all the choices that you've had to make, or that you're about to make. And this Two of Swords down here, it just verifies that. So there are lots of choices that are about to take place for you, or that you have had to make. So then it's followed by the Page of Pentacles, okay? And the Page is also that youthful kind of spirit, but it's also a beginning of an emotional journey, a healing. It could be a financial journey. It could also be the fact that the Page of Pentacles is in the reverse position. Let's look at that real quick. Lack of focus, and that will happen. It will cause you to have lack of focus. There's inconsistency in around you. I'm not so necessarily sure that all the inconsistencies are you. It sounds like you're in a situation that's inconsistent, and that will cause you to not be able to see straight. It will not, until you knuckle down and realize that you have to make this decision. I'm going to pull a few more cards here, and then I'm going to speak about this, because this is not a terrible hand. I don't like to see the Page of Wands and this Emperor in the reverse positions, because it just tells me a story that, things are not, there you go. You got the Hermit, and that's a wonderful card to have. So it's introspection. And I feel like that. I feel like you're seeing it with the Two of Swords here, that you're seeing you need to do something. You've got to have to move. The Wheel of Fortune finally shows up. you're realizing that these are cycles in your life, and the only way to get balance with the Six of Pentacles here, the only way to get balance is to move out of that situation and find a stable place for you, something that you can commit to. Yeah, there you go. Celebration. So yeah, we're ending this reading with the Hermit, okay? And the Hermit is what is it? It's shining a light. It's shining right towards temperance over here. You have to find balance. You know this, okay? And I believe you're understanding that these are some cycles that you're going to do in your life. You have to let things go. You have to. There is a ruler of the underworld. There is a ruler of the upper world, and that's what this cycle is about. And right now, I kind of feel like, you are the Death card. It's kind of ironic that you know in Greek mythology, Hades is the lord of the underworld. And so Scorpio does represent that, and perhaps you are putting the death to it, to find the balance. You're tired of these cycles, reciprocating or non-reciprocating cycles that are taking place, especially in your relationships. And but what I'm seeing here is the ending of this reading, that there is a celebration, there's a victory that is on its way. um we don't always know when that's about to take place, right? We never know. And so sometimes we get um so focused on all of the negative things. But with that, the Knight of, I believe it was the Knight of Wands. I'm gonna look again real quick. Oh, we even had the Devil card showed up on the end there. So yeah, you're done with it. You either get chained to it or you're unchained. Let me go back real quick so I can move that out the way. I apologize, I didn't even see the Devil show up. Yeah, I mean, that's a perfect ending. And I'm saying this Devil card is trying to show you that you're chained to this situation right here. Whatever this is for you, and you know what this is for you, and you know that you have a decision to make, right? It's causing way too much emotional turmoil. It should not be this hard. Don't get me wrong. We all have relationships where we got to work on them, but this one feels like you got the World card showing up again, revealing to you the cycles that are taking place. And I know it's easier said than done. Maybe you're that codependency. You feel like you're dependent upon this person's financial means. You have no place to go. It could be a scenario where maybe, and I don't mean this to be mean, but maybe you've burned some bridges and now you don't have anybody to rely on. But I'm going to tell you, you've always got somewhere to go. And you start right here. You go right here. You can still remain in that same household, and start changing this. Now, that may be a lot easier for me to say that because I'm not in your position, but I'm telling you that you have to see yourself in a better position. And with all the chaos and the turmoil taking place, I truly believe in the power of manifesting our own realities. I know people say that, and sometimes when you're down, that's kind of like a kick in the gut. But I truly believe that that change has to start right here in your mind, and you have to start loving yourself and respecting yourself enough to move up and out of this situation. And perhaps maybe there's somebody that you a work around, or a relative or a friend that you can kind of relay this information to, and maybe they might have some place that you could go. But I feel like you need to move out of whatever situation you're in there. um yeah, I don't like seeing that chaos, that turmoil, the ego clashes. But do realize the good news is that with that Wheel of Fortune card, you know that is just a cycle. And this could be one of those karmic relationships that you're going to look back on and go, what was I doing? What was I thinking? And this has got you so in your head. There's lack of communication, lack of trust, ego. There's money spending that shouldn't be taking place. There's this, there's that. And it's making you ill. I just kind of feel like that. So I wish for you honestly just peace. Find yourself a place where you can go that's quiet, that you lower your vibration, lower your negative energy somehow, some way, enough to see yourself in another position. You got to find some clarity first and then move forward from that. And I know that's tough to do. I know, but I believe in you. I believe you can do that. Um, I wish for you the very, very best. Whoever this is for. Whoever this is for. Okay, I wish I could give you a 1, 2, 3 fix. I just cannot. But I do know that you had some really good cards in there that you're seeing the light. You're coming into this. You know, you're emotionally responding now in a way that you should. Just be patient with yourself. Things will reveal for you, and I think that you're going to find the way. So anyway, I hope this helps somebody. I hope that maybe in some way, I wish the cards were, as romantic and beautiful of a story, but that's one that you're going to have to tell. That's the story that you're going to have to tell, and keep telling yourself that story until it manifests in your life, and don't stop until you do. So anyway, my phone just went off, so maybe there's some communication coming in for you, air sign. So that's a good thing. Anyway, I love you. I have a lot of respect for you for uh, coming into your knowing, and I feel like you're going to be okay. You're going to do this. All right. Anyway, we'll see you on the next one. Bye.